Welcome to the song tutorial for Faded by Alan Walker. So we have 4/4 time, and we have the key of D minor here. So we've got one flat to contend with, so it's not too complicated, and in classic pop fashion, we only have 4 chords to work with. So we have D minor, which is D, F, and A. We have B flat, which is, should not be played that way, play this way. B flat, D, and F. And then we have an F chord, which is F, A, and C. And then we have a C chord, which is C, E, and G. Basically, if you can do that, you can play the whole song. But we'll make it more special. So we are going to be starting with the intro, which is so beautiful, and it's really, really easy, especially the way we have it notated for you. So we're going to begin with F, and I suggest using your one finger. Just do a little scan every time you start a song and see where the notes are traveling to, so that you can kind of decide what fingers to use based on, do I have to have more fingers ready to go up? Do I need fingers ready to go down? So in this case, we are moving up from there. So we're gonna go F, 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 A, then D, 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 C, and then maybe my 3 on A, 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 and then we're gonna go E, 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 D. So there's a crossover there, and if I plan my fingering maybe a little bit differently, I wouldn't have had to do the crossover. So I might next time decide to play this A with my 5. You're gonna play around with it until you find what works for you. You'll probably notice as we go through this tutorial that I have a different finger pattern for how I play that every time. It's totally fine. Just as long as you can play it smoothly, you're good. So to make that sound a little more fancy, we're gonna add in our left hand. So I'm just gonna play to start a 5th here. And then I'm gonna come up to a 5th on B flat. See, that's how I use my 2. So that's essentially, this is the crazy part, is that's like the whole song. So take some time there and get comfortable with it. If you want, you can add in some harmonization. So the melody always wants to be on top. So if we're doing this based on a D minor chord, right, that's our first chord, we can add a D underneath the F. Watch how this sounds. And then the next melody note is A, and there is an F and a D as well in this D minor chord shape. So what if we added the F underneath it? A, it's going to sound really good. Right? So you can kind of build it up that way. Then for this next little bit here, we've got this, and a B flat chord includes a B flat, which is conveniently located right there. So we could do this. And then I'm just going to play the C. And then for the F, the melody is A, and F is right here. So we can harmonize it that way. And then the same thing with this C. The melody is the 3rd tone of a C chord, so I'm going to add that root right here below it. Just one way to kind of look at how you can build that up a little bit. And it's a really good introduction to creating harmonies because that can be a little bit of an overwhelming concept. But here it's very simple. All you need to do is consider the notes of the chord that's above the measure you're in. You need to keep the melody that's notated as the highest note in the equation, and then you can pick any of the chord tones to add in below that note, and then you get some harmonies. So practice that. You can kind of build in some rhythm here if you want. Right? Go with whatever you like the sound of. The rest of the song. So to begin, let's just do this really simple. So play and hold a chord, and then you can sing your melody. You were the shadow to my light. Did you feel us? Another star, you fade away. Afraid our aim is out of sight. Wanna see us? I'm just doing root positions. Where are you now? And this will get boring very, very quickly. Where are you now? And it repeats. So that's where you can start. Once you get comfortable there, then take a look at some maybe inversions. Inversions are a lot of fun, and this is, again, because there are only 4 chords, it's a really good place to explore them. So let's begin with a root position D minor. You were the shadow to my light. Look at that. I lost my voice for a second. But when we move from D minor to a B flat chord, we can keep our thumb on D, our 3 on F, and look at that. This actually feels much better to place your 2 on the F. So from here to here. It's a really smooth little inversion change. And it just adds a little bit of interest to the song. You were the shadow to my light. Did you feel us? And then the F, like it's right here in second inversion, C, F, and A. Another star. So we're in root position. Now let's try one other little root. So instead of going back to a root position D minor here, let's try second inversion D minor. So A, D, and F. Okay. Afraid our aim is out of sight. Now look at how simple it is to move from the second inversion to a B flat chord. There's just that movement up a half step with our thumb. So it's really smooth. Afraid our aim is out of sight. Wanna see us. And look at, we can just get to a first inversion F chord really easy here. A light, and I chose a second inversion C chord. So there's no rules for this. You get to pick whatever inversion path you want to, but because of the repetitive nature of the song, it's a really, really great opportunity to experiment with a few different ones. One of the things, if you like to have a plan, is you can write above the chord names on your sheet. I put R for root position, 1 for first inversion, and then 2 for second inversion. So if you want to plan your path, you can do that way. Okay, so let's carry on into the chorus. Things are going to stay the same, but I wanted to show you how you can kind of layer those flavors from the intro into the chorus. It sounds really good. So measure 10, 11, 12. Where are you now? So this is what we're playing. And you notice how we have all this time on these measures, right? Where are you now? So watch this. Where are you now? Playing the intro. Where are you now? I'll do that again without the harmonies just so it's a little more clear, and I'll slow it down. Where are you now? Where are you now? Where are you? Right? You can just go on like that. So it's really fun to pull in those little flavors from the intro, that theme, into the in-between spots, especially in this chorus. It works really well. So as you go through, you're gonna find your groove. You're gonna get comfortable with those chord changes. You're gonna notice on measure 21, we have a bar of 2/4. It just creates a little bit of rhythmic tension and release to bring us back into the next little part of the song. So let's actually go from there, because we can talk about how we can add in some maybe extra stuff with the left hand to make it sound a little more intense. Coming off of measure 19, we've been on the F, and then we go, were you only imaginary? And there's our 2/4. Where are you now? Atlantis, under the sea, under the sea. So I want you to pay attention to my left hand, because I'm going to build, because these chords are so repetitive, you have to get creative with your dynamics. And so a way I can do that is by playing sort of a slow, gradual build with these heavy octaves in the left hand. So measure 25, 26. Where are you now? Another dream. The monsters run wild inside of me. I'm faded. Now there's nothing. Oh, that was so nice. Did you hear how that octave kind of rang out? Because I was using my pedal, and that kind of moved into that bar of nothing. It was a really good moment of tension, and I thought it sounded really good. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's come off of the monsters running wild inside of me. So heavy octave here on that C. Hold your pedal. I'm faded. And then bring it right down. Now you can just kind of play your chords like this. So last, I'm faded. Or you can bring that intro back into it if you want here. And then we go into the next verse and business as usual. There's no big changes. You just get to keep doing what you were doing. So I'm going to go a little farther just to kind of show you, again, pay attention to what my left hand is doing. It's not fancy. But by playing sort of root notes and breaking up these, I use fifths a lot and broken octaves, just to kind of fill the space. So if I'm coming into verse 2, I kind of want to like have a little more energy. So I might start with an octave here. These shallow waters never met what I needed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so notice how I'm playing the octave on the 1 and then I am pulsing the top note of that octave kind of on some of the offbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that just kind of gives some movement. And now let's pay attention to my right hand. What am I doing? So all these tricks you'll find in the Fills and Riffs pack, but just a quick overview. I'm using chord tones. I'm just breaking up the chord and playing the notes individually. Here I'm implementing a sus2 chord and I'm kind of hanging out there and then rolling it to the 3, walking it back down. And then here's just again a broken chord, just chord tones. That's all. So if you want a slower walk through that, head to the Fills and Riffs pack because it will walk you through those ideas step by step. But that's how you could implement them in this progression in the song. And then from there, it just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. So this is the perfect song for a complete beginner. There's only 4 chords. They're not super challenging chords, and you can get a lot of bang for your buck because you don't have to do a lot for it to sound like a beautiful song. So it's great for beginners. It's great for the more advanced players because then you have some space and repetition to begin to explore adding in all of those little extras, those fills, those runs, those dynamics. If you want more information on how to do these fills and runs, we've got an awesome pack inside of Pianote that walks you through this step by step. So you can find the link for that below. I love hearing from you, so please put your comment below. I read them. I respond as often as I can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.